think we're being a little hard on Anthony Davis. Lakers centers, Laker big men have had, of course, a checkered and glorious past with the Lakers. George Mikan, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaquille O'Neal, Pau Gasol, and now Anthony Davis. And they have all the men I mentioned have won championships with the Lakers. But many of these men have also had supporting teammates, supporting stars, who have, in a way, carried the hero role of the Lakers with them. Starting with Wilt Chamberlain coming to the Lakers to join forces with the great Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, two mainstays in L.A., but L.A. didn't have any championships. The Lakers didn't have any championships in L.A. with those two gentlemen. So Wilt Chamberlain was eventually brought on. He was the most unstoppable force in basketball. Very charismatic. He was a star. He was Wilt Chamberlain, world known. Coming to the Lakers, the goal was to win championships, to dethrone the Boston Celtics. And you could say that Wilt's time here was, though he won a championship, he didn't do enough. He didn't win enough. And there were times where his heart, his toughness was questioned. And that's the theme of this episode, Boomer and X, featuring me, the millennial of the group. I'm looking at Laker bigs, and this is coming off of Game 1's performance of Anthony Davis and some other performances he's had since returning back from injury this season after winning the Lakers a championship. And I'm looking at how Laker bigs have sometimes been regarded as soft or not giving it their all or saving it for the playoffs. These are things that have been said about many great Laker Hall of Fame big men. So I don't want to leave Anthony Davis out in the cold and say he's the first great Laker big man that's been criticized, because he's not. I mean, Pau Gasol went through a lot in his time with the Lakers in a short time. Now let's look at Pau Gasol, for instance. Pau Gasol came to the Lakers in 2008. I think it was February 1st, I believe. He came to the Lakers. That year, they went to the finals. The next year, they went to the finals and won. The next year, they went to the finals and won. After the first finals, they lost against the Boston Celtics. Kevin Garnett, someone who never has been accused of not giving it his all or not being tough, dominated Gasol in that finals. And that lingered on into the offseason. And Gasol took a lot of negative criticism with him into the next season. He was alongside the late great, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, who, along with his Mamba mentality, was considered a do-it-all, never quit, killer instinct type guy. And that led to the portrayal of Gasol of not being up to the task of what Kobe was looking for. Wasn't true. And the same as with Anthony Davis, who's standing next to, like Kobe Bryant, a transcendent superstar, a superstar who's been the epitome of consistency and durability in LeBron James. 18 years in the league and still considered the best player in the game. So for a 28, I believe, year old Anthony Davis, his energy is not of a LeBron in regards to his personality, but his hunger is there. I think I watch him in games, and when he wants to do it, he does it. But he's just playing a game, and I've grown to appreciate the style of play he has. It's very I don't know, it's almost like an artist who's doing a painting, and he doesn't need color yet. He's just filling out the lines so that he can make the picture the best it can be. And I've noticed AD float around the perimeter, take some shots, get the shot going, scanning the defense, kind of giving up some plays on defense early. And I look at it as he's obviously been taught and mentored by LeBron. You know, they're in the same locker room now. You know, guys don't just not talk to each other in the locker room. But anyway, back to my point. We got to remember that Shaquille O'Neal, who was not ever considered soft, of course, the diesel, physical specimen like none other, was not considered soft, but he was considered someone who was a loaf. Part of the big issues with him and Kobe were the commitment to the offseason, which trickled into performances in the regular season. And I think the regular season is just such a grind for big men, especially even special big men like Shaquille O'Neal and Kareem, who I'll mention a little bit in a second. You just want to get your body right. You just want to feel right going into the playoffs. And then you want to be able to dominate in the playoffs. I look at a lot of guys, a lot of big men who gave a lot of time and a lot of minutes to their teams who faded in the playoffs. Patrick Ewing seemed to fade a little bit, his level of play in the playoffs. Malone, though Malone got to 2 finals, there were many a times where he just wasn't the same guy he was in the regular season. Olajuwon, Robinson, I mean, those guys have played, but, those guys, of these great centers, of the Olajuwon, Robinson, Ewing, Malone, Barkley, you're talking about 5 titles out of that group, out of that many guys who probably, we're talking about how many points, how many All-Star games, All-NBAs. So my point is, Shaq, Kareem, AD, because I've seen Powell play. But I see guys that just say, hey, you know what? I got to sit. I can't be Kobe. I can't be LeBron. I can't sit on the perimeter and tax my body for 82 games and prove to everybody that I'm this Iron Man. If you want the title, LA, y'all want the title. Y'all want the barbecue and the parade route. Y'all want the bars packed. So you got to let these big men have a little sit. You got to let them have a game 1 and feel it. Shaq had plenty of poor game 1 performances, game 2s, a lot of road Sacramento games. Next person I'm going to talk about is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Arguably one of the greatest, or the greatest living basketball player alive. Kareem got it done on every level. UCLA, of course, high school, UCLA, Milwaukee as a youngin', which is still one of the most amazing feats in NBA history, considering just the youth and his ability to just be like this transcendent figure. So